James Show.
Now we're talking.
News Talk 98.9.
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, welcome to the program on your Monday afternoon. Glad to talk to you. Boy, I tell you what, it was a quick weekend because, you know, knowing what we've got coming up over the next couple of days, I was really dug into that all weekend. But I hope you had a great one. Got a little rest and relaxation out there. So I was looking at some of these numbers from early voting, and I'll be honest with you, folks, I'm shocked. I am absolutely shocked. Did you know that more people voted in the early voting runoff election than voted in the early voting primary election? Let's hold on. Let's think about that for a second. How many people did we have running in the primary? What, 5? More? How many people did we have running in the runoff? 2? So let's take a look at these numbers. In the primary, here in South Carolina, we had a total of, now this was back October 5th, 6th, and 7th, 61,775. In the runoff, 63,716. Anderson County in the primary had 2,681 voters. In the runoff, 3,022 voters. That's interesting. Let's go to Charleston. Charleston in the primary had 1,891 voters. In the runoff, let's see here. Special election. Am I right on this? Yes. 1,723. So they actually lost votes in Charleston. Charleston, primary 1891, runoff 1723. Cherokee County, 978 voted in the primary. Cherokee County, 1132 in the runoff. Let's go down to Greenville County. In the primary, 6,411. In the runoff, 7,043. Pretty amazing. Horry County, 6,780 in the primary. Wow, they lost votes. Horry County, 6,150. That's pretty amazing. So now let's head on down. We'll go to Spartanburg real quick. 3,252 in the primary, and in the runoff, 3,715. That's amazing. That's amazing. Look at the places that, and I didn't go through all of them, but if you go over to, let's just take a look at York. York, 2,723 in the primary, 3,062 in the runoff. So, I mean, these numbers are pretty amazing. Now, are they great? No, they're not great. But I think they're telling that people are showing up. People were motivated in the runoff election to vote for somebody. Now, who that somebody is, we don't know. We don't know if they were showing up to vote for Darlene, or we don't know if they were showing up to vote for Ralph. We'll find out tomorrow night when the polls open tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Now, remember, this is another election. You're still going to have to go to scvotes.gov to find out exactly where you are supposed to vote. This is no longer going to be at the elections headquarters or anything like that. You're going to be voting in your district. So always make sure you go to scvotes.gov. Even they get it wrong sometimes. But please make sure you do that. Charles, let's see. Hopefully that's not Democrats coming out for Darlene. Well, it might be. It might be. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what. Oh, and by the way, Governor Henry McMaster did a press conference today with Darlene Graham. Let me just make a couple of observations here real quick. Number one, Darlene Graham standing, as you're looking at the stage, to Henry McMaster's right. His left, your right. She did not look like a happy candidate today. She looked like a scared candidate today. Go back and look at the video. Go back and watch the video. Look at her while Henry McMaster is speaking. Look at her posture as she stands behind him. And number two, when's the last time you've heard Henry McMaster call a press conference? Can you remember? Was it a natural disaster? Was it some business wanting more of our taxpayer dollars? No. I mean, and now he's doing a press conference for Darlene? You know what that tells me? That tells me one thing. These polling numbers for Darlene are horrible. They are awful. They are not looking good. The last poll that I've heard of actually had Ralph Norman ahead by double digits. I think something like 12 points. They might be seeing the exact same thing. That's why Tim Scott got me today, because he was like, I've seen her work. I have seen. When did you see Darlene Graham work? When did you see that? What did you see in the few days that she was actually in Congress or in the Senate before they went on recess? You saw that? Oh, you saw it on the campaign trail. Oh, okay, I get it. When she's got her handlers around her. Folks, this is crazy. This is crazy. Charlie, I am not at all surprised. We could tell by the number of people coming to vote that there looked like a big turnout. That was from Mary, giving us a little note there. So, again, lots of folks turning out for this thing. But Henry McMaster, the fact that he even did a press conference is pretty telling. I'll give you another little thing. That Trump rally in Myrtle Beach was not your typical Trump rally. That was not. First of all, not only was he there, you also had Caroline Leavitt there. You also had others there as well. I would have expected overflow crowds, but apparently that was not the case. They were giving out tickets. I don't know how this thing is going to go tomorrow night, tomorrow all day. But, man, I tell you what, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close. So we'll see what happens with all of that. So, again, what'd you say, JJ? Do we have a so you're saying there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance. I'm saying there is a chance that Ralph Norman wins this thing tomorrow night. Despite all of the millions of dollars that have been spent on this campaign. Despite all of that. Despite all of the lies, and I did a video over on X and on Facebook today. Go check that thing out. For all of you people out there that have been liking and sharing that, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, because it was about half-truths are whole lies. And in that video, I talk about these lies, well, not half-truths, that Ralph Norman voted against a pay raise for our military. Is that true? Sort of. Charlie, talk about a do-nothing senator, Tim Scott. He needs to be voted out when his time is up. I agree with you. I haven't seen anything from him. I did see him today kind of bragging that the fact that he was now the senior senator from South Carolina. Okay. All right. When we get back, what did Ralph Norman do that Lindsey Graham didn't do? That's coming up. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of breaking news and stimulating talk begins every hour, every afternoon on the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas. Interact on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line.
800-905-0989. Text or call. One number does it all.
800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, let's go to the phones on the Ingalls Market Talk line. We'll talk to Phil in Campobello. How are you, Phil?
Hey, buddy, hold on. You'll get to play a round of golf with a sweater on before long.
Oh, that sounds good. Oh, does that sound glorious. Man, you just made my day. What's up, buddy?
If she happens to win, we're going to have one more special election for another senator because I learned a long time ago, two halves don't make a whole, and we'd definitely have two half-ass senators.
There you go, Phil. You're right. You know, some of these ads out there that you've been seeing, and we talked about that. There's one ad that said, you know, he voted against pay raises for troops. I would have voted against him, too. Absolutely. 100% I would have, because why? They were full of DEI, which we know now that Darlene Graham really likes. DEI. She wanted the South Carolina Commission on the Blind to be the leader in diversity in South Carolina. Those ads were also, I mean, the NDAAs that Norman voted against also were about mandatory DEI training in the military. They were about literally officers and enlisted people, trans acceptance in the military. And they were about displaying pride flags at our military institutions. I'd have voted against that too. And I don't know of many good conservatives out there that wouldn't have voted against that. So that was one of the lies. The other lie that is told in some of these ads is that, I don't know where they're getting this, that Ralph Norman is anti-Trump. Never Trumper Ralph Norman, they say. Let me ask you something. Does this sound like a never Trumper to you?
You know, pure and simple, this is, as the sign says, political persecution. No man should have to go through what President Trump is sitting through. A judge is his own daughter who's making millions should not happen in America. The fact that this trial, look at the timing of it. Before the presidential primary, before the conventions, having Donald Trump sit here, their whole purpose is to keep him off the campaign trail so that he can't do what he does best. You know what their intent is? This is their intent, to put him behind bars. And the American people are going to say no. They're not going to put an innocent man behind bars. I don't know what kind of political theater they want to keep going. This is a kangaroo court, pure and simple.
Well, that sure does sound like an anti-Trumper right there. You know what sounds like an anti-Trumper? Remember Tim Scott when the FBI broke into Mar-a-Lago? Remember Tim Scott, what Tim Scott said? He said, well, we'll just have to see and let the process play itself out. Now let's go back to Lindsey Graham. So Ralph Norman defending the president. Here's Lindsey Graham in the Senate.
The final thing, Joe Biden. I've traveled the world with Joe. I hoped he lost. I prayed he would lose. He won. He's the legitimate president of the United States. I cannot convince people, certain groups, by my words, but I will tell you by my actions that maybe I, above all others in this body, need to say this. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are lawfully elected and will become the president and the vice president of the United States on January the 20th.
And that was a shot at Trump. That was a shot at MAGA. And we remember when Lindsey Graham gave Kamala Harris the fist bump on the Senate floor after the election. We remember those things. But in some way, gosh, memories are so short in politics. I really don't understand it. In some way, Ralph Norman is the never Trumper? I'm not getting it. So you got Tim Scott. Well, let's see how it plays out. Tim Scott did not raise a ruckus when the FBI stormed Mar-a-Lago. He didn't do it. He didn't even raise his eyebrows. Well, let's just see how the process plays out. Didn't defend Trump in any way. There's Lindsey Graham fist bumping Kamala Harris, right? So somebody said this weekend, oh, I love when the uninformed speak loudly and boldly. She talked about this person down in the Low Country was like, well, Tim Scott just endorsed Darlene Graham. And my simple reply was, has the Save America Act passed yet? And she said, oh, no. Well, she voted for it. No, she did not vote for the Save America Act. She didn't vote for it. She signed on as a co-sponsor, and forgive the term, posthumously. After the work was done, after everybody got in there and did all the negotiations and did all of the writing of the bill, she walks in, signs on as a co-sponsor, and acts like she actually did something? That's nuts. That is nuts. That's nuts. So that nothing was done. She did nothing, but has taken all this credit for it. The guy that wrote the original bill was Ralph Norman. He wrote the original bill. The bill that the current Save America Act was based on, that was Ralph Norman. But for some reason, she's going to take credit for it. Okay, but there you go. Again, Ralph Norman's the anti-Trumper, the never-Trumper. I don't get it. I really don't. That boggles my mind. Charlie, let's see. Charlie, my question to Ralph Norman is, what is his stand on Social Security? From what I've heard, he's not for any benefits to the Social. No. What Ralph Norman said in the debate, and he's absolutely right, you got to do something about it. Social Security is broken. Everybody, every economist in the nation says, listen, this thing's only going to be around for so long. Because why? Because people have been dipping into this thing for decades now. Poor decisions have been made about Social Security. He doesn't want Social Security to go away. He wants it fixed. And I agree. Charlie, when did Tim Scott ever see Darlene Graham work? The couple of weeks she was in office before the Senate goes on? Exactly. That was my question as well. Charlie, I'm with others. Tim Scott needs to go. I don't like either of the two, but if Graham wins, she received her votes from the larger areas and cities like Lindsay did. Norman wins the upstate and surrounding areas. That's going to be the case. It really is. So voter turnout is going to be key. Hey, Charlie, am I wrong in thinking that Ralph Norman was the actual author of the original Save America bill? Nope, you are not wrong at all. That is 100% correct. He wrote it. Everything that is in, almost everything that is in the current Save America Act bill was in Ralph Norman's Save America Act bill, except for one thing, and that was reporting of voter fraud. That was in Ralph Norman's bill. It is not in the current bill. So, again, voter turnout going to be crucial. We had more people vote in the runoff election than we did in the primary. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. I will be on the air tomorrow from 7 until 8 to give you the election returns as much as we can within that hour. I'm expecting them to come in pretty quickly because it's only two people on the ballots. So we'll see what happens there. Let's go to Susan in Greenville. Susan, welcome.
Hi, I was just wondering one thing. Darlene Graham, I feel sorry for her family and so on, but you never hear her thank her aunt and uncle for taking care of her after her parents passed away. You never hear about it.
You know what? I mean, that's well, first of all, Susan, I mean, how many people actually knew he had a sister?
Well, I mean, but you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I don't know much about their upbringing, but it is interesting. I appreciate it. Let's go to Karen and Tryon. Karen, welcome.
Hey, I'm in North Carolina, but I did my part. I have a friend in Landrum. She hardly ever votes, and I'm trying to convince her to vote tomorrow and vote for, Ralph Norman.
There you
go. She goes, yeah, well, she's not a voter, right? She goes, but Darlene, she's had such a rough life. See, they running on. I said, no, don't go back. they got everybody convinced that she's got such a rough life.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, she's making
So,
like $160,000 a year. I don't call that too rough of a life
I'm telling
in
you,
your
right.
adult. And I appreciate it, Karen. Thank you. So, and that's another thing. I mean, they're like, oh, here's Darlene Graham. I shop at discount stores. Ralph Norman's a businessman. How many businesses has Darlene Graham started? 0? I'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
This is Mark Levin. Join me tonight at 7 following Charlie James for the Mark Levin Show, a News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Charlie Speaks, you listen on your time. Get the show on demand. Text podcast to 800-905-0989. The Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
So how much gang activity and how much cartel activity do you think we have here in South Carolina? It's probably a heck of a lot more than you imagine. A lot more. Attorney General Alan Wilson has announced a new state grand jury indictment, multiple arrests. He did it in a press conference today. He announced that a multi-jurisdictional operation was conducted to apprehend over 30 people indicted in the South Carolina state grand jury investigation known as Last Stand. Now, this mainly took place down in Charleston, but it grew out of investigations into unsanctioned nightclubs known for drawing crowds of gang members and illegal immigrants. And those nightclubs, quote unquote, became huge hubs for narcotics trafficking, prostitution, and gang violence. Thank you, Joe Biden. More than that, thank you, Christine Graziano. Christine Graziano was the sheriff of Charleston County. Christine Graziano made Charleston County literally a sanctuary county. But she got booted, thankfully. And now they've got Carl Ritchie down there, who is a great guy and is really cracking down on all of this stuff. But that's what sanctuary cities and sanctuary counties do. They attract this type of behavior. The quote is, Alan Wilson said, narcotics trafficking from Mexican cartels poses a threat to national security, and I commend our partner agencies for doing the difficult and dangerous job of investigating and apprehending alleged gang and cartel-affiliated individuals. This investigation involves not only drug trafficking on a large scale, but also gun smuggling, prostitution, and shootings, with illegally operated businesses and nightclubs often being the epicenter of this criminal activity. The attorney, isn't that amazing? These people go out there and they can have an unregulated nightclub that nobody knows about, but yet you open up a hair salon without a license and you go to jail? You can't even clip nails. You can't even paint somebody's nails and have them pay you without, I'm going to have to write you a ticket for that one, Darlene. Not that Darlene, another Darlene. So isn't that amazing? But these people can run undercover just, willy-nilly. So the Attorney General's office has an ongoing and extensive partnership with SLED and HSI, and the South Carolina State Grand Jury will continue to aggressively pursue cartel narcotics trafficking and the danger it brings with us. That's pretty amazing. So they got a warrant, a search and seizure warrant at that nightclub in North Charleston, and this happened back in February. But with all of the information that they found, they were able to get this indictment. It led to the arrest of 86 people, 79 administrative arrests of illegal immigrants, and 7 criminal arrests. Let's see how many of those get deported. Let's see. Because if, like, I were in charge of things, they would already be out of here. They'd be gone. Wherever you came from, that would be your destination. And we'll let them deal with you. And you would not be coming back either. We'd have fingerprints, we'd have DNA, we'd have face scans, we'd have everything on them. And you'd be gone. But we'll see how this plays out. Because while we have had a lot of deportations, not quite as many as everybody had hoped for. So there you go. But pretty amazing. But now we got over 30 people, and those it was like 86. The vast majority of those folks, they were just that, and I don't mean just, but they were illegal immigrants. They're in trouble now. 30 of those people, those were the kingpins of this stuff. They were the ones in charge of all the trafficking going on. But and you don't think that happens here in the upstate? Oh, yes, it does. Absolutely. When you've got I-85 right there that goes Charlotte, Greenville, Atlanta, That is a huge corridor for trafficking. Oh, there you go. Charlie, why did the state allow the city to become the state allow the city? Well, because they don't have, it's not the city, it was the county. It was Charleston County. They can't control that. The state can't control that. If the county does not want to cooperate with ICE, they don't have to. I mean, Darlene Graham, gosh, she's all in my head. Christine Graziano, she just decided that her officers in the Charleston County Sheriff's Department, they were not going to cooperate with ICE. They were not going to hold people that were detained by ICE. No trouble, no harm, no foul. State can't do anything about that. So, Charlie, I won't name names, but a prominent lady in Anderson endorsed Darlene, and one of the reasons is because they both still push mow their own grass. Oh, that's a great, oh, yeah. Oh, you push mow your own grass. Oh, you'll be a fine senator. Let me tell you something. All these people out there talking about how Darlene Graham is going to be a great senator. If that is the case, then we have been lied to. We have been lied to. Because they keep telling us, no, we got to increase our salaries. We got to increase the pay for the House and the Senate because that's the only way we can attract the best people. That's the only way we can do it. That's the only way we can attract, the top nut, the cream of the crop. If Darlene Graham is acceptable as a United States Senator, that means we were lied to about how high the bar was set. Am I right about that? Oh, and let me say something else, too. You folks on the Republican side that are, you know what? You know what I might do? I might save that comment for the next segment. I'm going to save this comment for the next segment because this is the truth. What I'm about to give to you coming up next is a truth, and I hope you take it to heart. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
When the left spins, Charlie sets it straight. It's the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9
WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Let your fingers do the talking.
Text the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line at 800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, let's go to the Ingalls Market Talk line. We'll talk to Bruce in Simpsonville. How you doing, Bruce?
Hey, buddy. On Facebook, are you part of Take Back SCGOP?
I have no idea. I'm
Okay.
I might be. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, they put out a poll this morning, and I know this is probably skewed, but it's Norman by a landslide.
Oh, really?
With what yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't know how skewed it is, but it's encouraging, and I don't know how many people, are part of it. Look and see, but yeah, I'm kind of happy about that.
Yeah.
That's all I was going to tell you.
Well,
I voted Friday for Norman, so we're going to see.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you, Bruce. Let's go to Phil in Taylor's. Phil, what's going on?
Hey, Charlie. Thanks
Hey,
for
Phil.
taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I got a couple points. If you and I know that Ralph Norman was the original author of the Save America Act, and he was there tirelessly fighting for Trump when he's being persecuted in his first term, and all the other things that he has, his voting record, which is proof of his conservatism. He has a word or discussion with Darlene Graham and got promises or whatever. Promises are empty. Ralph Norman has evidence in his actual voting record,
Right.
and his stands and his public appearances. How does Donald Trump, this is the biggest mystery that I am trying and all my friends are trying to figure out. How can he not know? How can he not know what we know, what you know, Tara knows, I know, everybody knows about Ralph Norman and being the better candidate and being the conservative, proven conservative? Of course, they had this last commercial during your break.
Yeah.
Darlene Graham, the proven conservative.
Where's the proof?
Only thing I can think of is that he is so shielded and so everything's so delegated out among his aides and assistants and chief of staff that he's just getting bad information. And it's one way maybe the deep state has infiltrated. They can't beat us in ideas. They can't beat us in policies, and they basically infiltrate, pretend they're rhinos when they say they're Republicans. They get in and they vote wrong, and they become Murkowski's and Susan Collins, and they also infiltrate the cabinets and aides, and they advise the president who to endorse. He says, well, he's such a powerful endorser, I guess we'll just go ahead and advise him to endorse these people and convince him that we're loyal, and he'll believe us. And that's the only thing I can think of, because
Here's what loyalty is: a virtue and a vice for this president. It is a great virtue that he has. He's a very loyal human being, but he's loyal literally to a fault. I heard today somebody said that he is doing this out of respect and in the memory of Lindsey Graham.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
It's just shocking.
It is shocking, and maybe there's no proof of her conservatism, but there is this hope of her conservatism. And it's crazy. But Phil, I appreciate it. I really want to get to this point. If you are voting, now I want you to listen. If you are voting for Darlene Graham because you think she has the experience to be a United States senator, you are giving up something. And that something is you no longer have the right to criticize Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Cori Bush, Ayanna Pressley, Gavin Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer, the list goes on, because those people did not have the experience to be in the positions that they held. You can no longer be critical of that with those folks. That's off the table now. If this were a Democrat, you would be screaming. I don't even have to go with that. I don't even have to go with a Democrat. If this was just some woman named Darlene Nardone. Darlene Nardone from Lexington, 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. 800-905-0989. is running for Senate, you'd be like, yeah, right. You did what? Oh, you worked, in a bureaucracy? Okay. No. Next. That's what you'd be saying. Darlene Nardone, next. Who else is out there? Somebody call John Warren up. Get his butt to run in this race, if you don't mind, please. So, you've given that up now. You can no longer criticize the Democrats. When they put up somebody with zero experience, you certainly can't criticize Annie Andrews for not having experience. That's off the table. I'm telling you, I just don't get it. I only got about 30 seconds. Michael, can you be quick?
I'll call you back.
Okay, I appreciate it, Michael. Thank you very much. We'll take a quick break and be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Hey, this is Tara. Start your day with common sense information and opinion with me on The Tara Show tomorrow morning starting at 6. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Hey, Charlie.
Let's talk.
It's the right talk.
Charlie.
Welcome. This is the Charlie James Show.
Now we're talking.
News Talk 98.9.
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
America is back.
All right, and we are back. Let's go to the Ingalls Market Talk Line. We'll talk to George in Greenville. George, what's going on?
Hey, Charlie. Hey, Charlie. Can you hear me okay?
I can, absolutely. What's up, man?
Oh, hey, hang on a second. I need to take off my mask. Hey, happy DEI Monday. What a load. You know, I'm pretty frustrated with Senator Tim Scott, Henry McMaster, and Congressman Richard Timmons for trying to promote this woman when she was all about promoting DEI and wearing a mask.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that. And this is exactly why I waited and my family waited to vote till tomorrow, because we needed the truth. And definitely Ralph Norman needs to be our next United States Senator, because that's a bunch of crock right there.
I appreciate it, George. You get that mask back on now. You get that.
I will. I'll make sure it's below my nose.
That's
too,
perfect.
like
That's perfect. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I appreciate it, buddy. Let's go to Mike in Myrtle Beach. Mike, welcome.
Hey, Charlie, long-time listener, first-time caller.
All right. Well, here we go. There you go. You didn't get the bell. What's up?
Thank you. First time. Yeah, that's right. Very good. I got to agree with your last caller that I waited. I usually vote early.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm over 70, and, you know, I just thought, that's a right I should have. I'll go vote early. Anyone can vote early. But I just thought, well, I've gotten old enough. I'll go vote early. It's what old people do. Isn't that what you do, Charlie?
That's what I do. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, but anyway, come. I said, well, I like Darlene, and I like the idea. I think, I don't know, you know, I figured Lindsay been talking to her for the last 30 years, and she had learned a lot just by being around, and I figured she might be pretty good. So when last Tuesday, or not even last Tuesday, the first debate, I go, it's not very impressive. But a lot of people vote for her, so okay, give him a chance. Now we got the two, and I'm a Fry guy. I voted for Fry the first time, and so I live down here, and he seems like he did a pretty good job. So the second time rolls around, and I'm like throwing stuff. I'm throwing the Constitution at my TV. I'm so darn mad. I'm about to say words on the air that you can't say.
Yeah.
You know, so frustrated. So I did as your last caller said. By Wednesday morning, I'm going, oh, no. Trump is going to come out and he's going to say, well, you know, he'll never admit he made a mistake, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But he'll say, you know what? I like both of them. They both did a great job, and I'm going to endorse both of them. Y'all pick who you want. And I thought, okay, he never did that.
Right.
And I got, it got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse. And I go, I'm going to wait till Tuesday. I'm going to vote Norman. I've been so fired up for a week. Well, you can hear it in my voice.
I can.
It's got me going. Yeah, and between Timmons isn't even my representative. Between Timmons and, I mean, I know Scott was wishy and washy, but between Scott and Timmons and Fry, and did you go? I couldn't make it. My wife was out of town, but did you go to the event on Friday night?
No, I did not. I did. It started after the show. Well, before the show was over.
That's
so
right.
yeah.
What am I thinking? Yeah, they didn't give you a explanation to go. So
Yeah.
anyway, but you watched it, right? Or you listened to it, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So there were parts in there I could not believe my ears. I mean, I heard several things. I heard one, we're going to do these drop the tariffs on the beef, so I'll get more votes. I mean, essentially, that's what he said.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't talk about farmers. He talked about prices, but he also talked about. And then on this plane ride home on that night, he said, "Did you hear that part where he talked? The reporter asked him, why did you do this, Mr. President?" He goes, "Because Argentina is doing so poorly. It's like, oh my God, there's an ad for the Democrats this fall. It's not MAGA, Make America Great Again. It's Make Argentina Great
Well,
Again."
it's also trying to reduce some of those beef prices because right now we're just not producing cattle. I appreciate it, Michael. I'm sorry. Now we got to go to Michael. Michael, welcome.
Hey, I've got a question for you first, Charlie, and that
All
is,
right.
why do you think Trump endorsed a vet for governor?
Because it was it was supposed to be a deal to get redistricting done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So is it possible he's endorsed Darlene for some deal we don't know about?
It is possible. It is
I'm
absolutely
hoping
possible.
that I'm hoping maybe he got some deal out of Thune or some of these other holdout Republicans to pass the Save America or get rid of the filibuster.
But here's,
I don't know,
but
but I
Michael,
believe
let's think about this. Then she would have to be able to do something that Lindsey was not able to do.
no, because Trump has placed his belief that we South Carolinians will make the right choice and send Ralph Norman to Washington, D.C., but he still wins on the deal he made.
Okay. Little shell
I
game
would like
there.
to believe that Trump has faith in us independent South Carolinians that we will do the right thing.
All right,
He
well,
did it with the vet.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
true. That's true. And then came out and did the double endorsement. I wish he would do that again. Let's go to Don in Pickens. Don, what's on your mind?
Good afternoon, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
I would like for you, if you can, take a phone-in poll of how many people that are Trumpers that after what's happened with Iran, this Darlene Nordone thing, him rallying and everything, find out how many of us are now no Trumpers. Thank you and have a good day.
Okay, Don, I appreciate it. I think you're in the vast minority there, my friend. Let's go to Wayne in Greenwood. What's going on, Wayne?
Tell your listeners about the two flyers I got in the mail last Friday.
Okay.
For Darlene, one came from the Invest in Tomorrow Coalition.
Yes, and that's headed up by the guy that donated $11 million to Kamala Harris.
Exactly what
Yeah.
I thought. And
Yeah.
the other one came from the National Republican Senatorial Committee.
That's headed up
And
by Tim Scott.
I blame him for this one. I may not vote for him again. And you would think they had more important places to put their money, like in Texas,
Yep.
Georgia, North Carolina, Michigan, and maybe even Ohio,
Yeah.
versus spending it on a primary in South Carolina.
Wouldn't you think? Wouldn't you think? I appreciate it, Wayne. Thank you. We'll take a quick break and be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of breaking news and stimulating talk begins every hour on The Charlie James Show. Afternoons 3 to 7 on News Talk 98.9.
WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. text, or call. One number does it all.
800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Hi, welcome back to the program. Glad to have you along with us. I want to go to Elizabeth in Greenville. How you doing, Elizabeth?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm Roger and Ben Carper's mom.
Oh, well, you got two fine boys there, ma'am. You got two fine boys.
That.
Oh, what can I do for you?
That. I was just want to mention about the dynasty aspect of this. That really bothers me because we had Tim Scott appointed. Now we'll have Darlene appointed. And once they get in there, you can't get them out.
No, it's virtually impossible to unseat a senator.
Yeah. And then we had the Bushes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We really need for it not to be that way.
You are right about that, ma'am. Well, I will say hey to your boys for you, and you tell them hey for me. I appreciate it. Let's go to Kyle in Anderson. Kyle, welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Charlie?
I'm good, man. What's up?
I'm just disappointed that I'm not going to hear the Lindsey Graham voice you did all the time. It used to make my day.
We have retired that one. Yes, absolutely. Out of respect for the dead.
You have to assign it to someone else.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't like the fact that Darlene took the Graham name. She's running on his name. She's not running on her own experience or anything else. And Ralph Norman is the only way to go, and that's where we'll be voting.
Yeah. Okay.
I just feel like it's like that Eddie Murphy movie where he ran on his Davis name or whatever it was years ago.
Right.
And he got elected. And I just feel like it's the exact same scenario.
It is very much that way. I appreciate it, Kyle. But you know what? You're known by, what'd your mom always tell you? You're known by the company you keep. Right? So Darlene Graham's now got some more endorsements. Let's take a look at some of these. Oh, the man that ran for Attorney General, Stephen Goldfinch, has now proudly endorsed Darlene Graham, a man with a Freedom Index score of 30. 30. That is an F, Stephen Goldfinch. In fact, in the 2025-2026 regular session, you've got a 11% conservative record. 11%. This was a guy that was put up to run for Attorney General here in South Carolina so that he could protect the swamp. Oh, they really wanted him to win. Oh, they wanted him to win so bad because those are the same people that did not want to be investigated. And then we got to go down to Beaufort County, Beaufort County. Representative Shannon Erickson. Let's take a listen to this.
Hi, I'm Shannon Erickson. We're standing in South Carolina House District 124 with Senator Darlene Graham. It is an honor and a privilege to be here with her today and to ask you to go vote on the 25th. Use the power of your vote to elect a fine woman, a South Carolinian who grew up in a regular home with bills and things to do and things to get done, and she knows how to make things happen. We appreciate that in Beaufort County. The folks who came out today to see her,
Okay. Shannon Erickson has a Freedom Index score of 29. That is a big F. That is a big, giant F. And then we've got the endorsement of Representative Don Chapman, who also has a Freedom Index of F with a score of 35. These are the same people. The people that are endorsing Darlene Graham are the same people. They're the reasons why you don't have closed primaries here in South Carolina. Those are the people that did not want South Carolina redistricted. Those are the same people that gave you the biggest budget in South Carolina history. Those are the people that are singularly, well, I will say this, along with the Democrats, who they work with and who they vote with, those are the people that are responsible for every problem we have here in South Carolina. They are the problem makers. They're not the problem solvers. They're the problem makers. You can't really blame the Democrats because the only power that the Democrats have is the power that the Merle Smiths and the Davy Hyatts and the Micah Caskies give the Democrats. And all three of those people are also endorsing Darlene Graham. So the problem makers in South Carolina are endorsing Darlene Graham. Should that tell you something? Because it tells me a lot. It tells me a great deal. These are the same people that did not go along with the one big beautiful bill. Right? Those people are endorsing Darlene Graham. Let that sink. I still cannot believe there are people out there that don't understand that simple concept. That here in South Carolina, we cannot blame our problems on Democrats. Democrats are not in power. The only power they do have, like I said, is the power that these Republicans gave them. You can't blame it on the Freedom Caucus. Those guys get shut down by the Rhino Caucus at every turn. It is literally the Republican caucus in Columbia that are responsible for every problem that we have. They're the only ones with power. You can't blame it on anybody else. And they're going with Darlene Graham. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
When nasty weather strikes, stay in the know with the upstate's largest staff of meteorologists 24/7 on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Charlie Speaks. You listen on your time. Get the show on demand. Text podcast to 800-905-0989. The Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
I want to thank everybody that went over on X and on Facebook and on Instagram, Twitter, not Twitter, TikTok, and shared my video that I did this morning. I really appreciate that. If you're not following me on all of those things, just look for me at Charlie on Air. That's at Charlie on Air. Let's go to Eric in Pickens. Eric, welcome.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, bud. What's up?
Well, a little amusement that CISPAC ad that keeps running. They've been trashing Ralph Norman like crazy.
Yeah.
I decided to look them up, and lo and behold, it comes up that CISPAC is a political action committee associated with the Democrat Party, part of a broader network of PACs that support Democrat candidates. Are you shocked?
Right. I'm not shocked at all. I mean, there she is. She claims she knows nothing about these ads, but they're I mean, got to wonder why the Democrats are campaigning for Darlene Graham so hard.
Now, on the other side here, I'm not too far from you.
Yeah.
And so there's an electronic billboard right there at the Red Robin.
Yeah.
And it's got a nice big thing up there that says, voting Ralph Norman is pro-American.
Ah, there you go.
Or
All right.
is America first, sorry.
There you go. That makes sense. I appreciate it, Eric. Thank you very much. Let's go to Terry in Greenville. Terry, what's on your mind?
Hey, Charlie.
Yes,
I remember last week you were talking about how Pam Evett appeared on the Joey Hudson show. I want to suggest a name change for the shows on WORD, starting at 6 in the morning to 7 in the evening, 13 hours. Just make it one big show. Call it the Pam Evett Show. And now she can either host a show for 13 hours, or if she doesn't want to do that, she can hire some hosts. And I've got an application already prepared for her to pass out. And these are 3 questions she should ask. First, what are 5 things that you can say nice about me every day?
Second, perfect.
Yeah, second, how many milliseconds would it take you to hang up on any caller who expresses criticism of me?
Uh-huh.
And
That's
third, do you promise to refer to every politician whom I do not like as a career politician, but never to use that term to describe my mentor, Henry McMaster?
I think that those are great qualifications for the new Pamela Evett 13 hours a day show.
Well, suggest it to her. See what you think.
I'll do that. I appreciate it, Terry. Thank you. In case you don't know what Terry was talking about, apparently lame duck Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evett was very upset because some hosts on this show, didn't name names, some hosts on this show were expressing our opinions too much. Oh, my goodness. Really? I had no idea. We're expressing our opinions too much. And I had the simple question. I mean, did we express our opinions about President Trump too much? Was that too much for you? Whoever wins this primary, will we be expressing our opinions too much on this? No? Have we expressed our opinions? No, please. And then she goes on to talk about how certain people are endorsing Ralph Norman and not Darlene Graham. Well, wait a minute. Hold on, ma'am. You are the sitting lieutenant governor of South Carolina. Should you be endorsing anybody? Should the governor be endorsing anybody? By the way, the governor had a press conference today endorsing Darlene Graham. When's the last time you saw a Henry McMaster press conference? Right? That's how important this is. And that's the reason that it was so important. Now, I want you to think about this. Hold on, because this is good. This is good. The polling numbers, McMaster wouldn't have been calling that press conference today if these polling numbers were favorable to Darlene Graham. They would not. But yet, Darlene Graham is out there and they're still calling Ralph Norman as Never Trumper. Now listen to this. Guess who did not vote for Donald Trump in 2016 or 2024? Darlene Graham. She didn't vote for Trump in those elections. Norman did. She didn't. So there you go. I mean, that's pretty interesting. It really is. Oh, my gosh. We got so much going on today. Scott Bessent, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to give this enough of what it deserves, but Scott Bessent today said it is D-Day, economic D-Day for Iran. I want you to listen to this. Here we go.
Today, at President Trump's direction, the United States Treasury has begun Operation Economic Outcast, an unprecedented campaign against the Islamic Republic of Iran and its enablers. In the Second World War, D-Day marked the historic beginning of a campaign with our allies to target and drive the enemy from its positions, including those in third countries. Today, in that same spirit, we are launching an economic onslaught against Iran's financial connections around the globe. Our objective is to sever every economic lifeline that sustains this tyrannical regime until Tehran stands alone. Today,
and that's what is going to happen if these other countries comply. But he went on to say, listen, if you don't comply, you are either going to stand with the United States or you're going to stand with Iran. God help you if you don't stand with the United States. I think it's a bold move. We'll see how that plays out. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Breaking news and what to make of it all with me, Mike Gallagher, tomorrow 10 to noon, right after Tara on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
and type your message on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line.
800-905-0989. This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, let's go to the Ingalls Market Talk line. We'll go to James in Anderson. How you doing, James?
Good, Charlie. How are you?
I'm good, bud. What's up?
Oh, I apologize if you've already covered this. I just recently got in the car and started listening, but I don't understand the whole Trump Darlene Graham thing. Why is he supporting her?
Well, what we heard was that he's doing it out of some sort of respect for Lindsey Graham. And maybe there was some kind of a deal made. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's got me puzzled as well. And I think quite possibly, because he was at that rally the other night, and that wasn't a very well-attended rally for Donald Trump.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So let's see what happens. I don't know. There's a lot of questions about that. I appreciate it, James. Bob is in Greer. Bob, what do you think?
Yeah. Hey, Charlie.
Hey,
Thanks
bud.
for taking my call. I have like 3 points I wanted to cover. I'll try to make them quick.
Sure.
The first one, let's just go with the easiest. When you were talking about the turnout, the early voting turnout,
Yeah.
and certain counties had more people turn out and certain counties less than the primary.
Right.
I'd be curious. The counties that have had greater turnout, are those the ones that went for Norman in the primary, and the one like Charleston had less?
Yeah.
I suspect that went for Graham. That could be a very good sign.
That Charleston County did go for Graham. That was their closest race against Mark Sanford. She only won by about 2.5, 3 points on that one. Here in the upstate, we turned out big time. We had more of a turnout than we did in the primary. Get over to York. I think Horry actually had, I'm not sure about York, but I know Horry, they increased their turnout as well, and I think that went, that went for Russell Fry. So we'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll see.
The other point that I had was I'm tired of everyone saying Darlene Graham Nordope is a nice person. She's lying to us about who she is. When she was pro DEI, she increased the budget. That she talks about her relationship to Katrina Shealy. She denies that she was over her house all the time, and Shealy had nothing to gain by saying that Darlene was there. She lies about knowing whether the Democratic PACs supported her.
Right.
She's basically a con man. She's trying to steal our vote. And then she attacked Norman at the end. She slandered him, saying he didn't support the big, beautiful bill. Well, he didn't at first, but he made it better, and he actually helped Trump and then supported it.
Yeah.
And then, all that just to say, I'm tired of people saying she's a nice person. She's not. She's a con man. She's lying to us. And the other one is about Trump. And I'm going to say this is going to be controversial. He's acting like Lindsey Graham's whore. Basically, his endorsements have been pretty much who Lindsey Graham would have endorsed, given the opportunity.
Maybe
there's
so.
something with that relationship.
Well, I certainly understand the sentiment on that one, Bob. I appreciate it, and that's got everybody scratching their heads. Really does. We just don't know. But again, I do agree with Bob on that point. What do nice people do? What do nice people do? Do they lie? No. Do they back all of these and claim that they know nothing about these ads that are out there about the big beautiful bill? Did he vote against the bill? No, he held up the vote against the big beautiful bill. And he did that for a reason. Because there were some things in there that Ralph Norman wanted taken out, like all of these subsidies for solar farms and wind farms. Did you guys want that in the one big beautiful bill? Did you want all of that stuff there? I didn't. I didn't want my taxpayer money going to solar farms and wind farms. So I'm glad he did it. All you Massey fans ought to be real happy about that. So, I mean, but again, what do nice people do? Do they take money from Democrats? Obvious Democrats? That one group spent, $1 million to defeat? Not. I noticed what they said. They didn't do that to support Darlene Graham. They did it to defeat Ralph Norman. Let's go to Gerald in Cowpens. Gerald, what's on your mind?
Charlie, I was going to wear my blue button-up shirt tomorrow to vote, but I'm afraid somebody might hit on me. You know what I mean?
God. I know what you mean. You better be careful what color y'all wear. Y'all wear some red tomorrow. Now, it doesn't have to say MAGA on it. Doesn't have to have. Did you just wear yourself some red to those polls tomorrow and let everybody know exactly who you're voting for? They can't say anything about that. They can't dictate what color you wear to the polls. So I'm expecting a big day tomorrow. All right, polls open tomorrow at 7 a.m. All right? Now, go to scvotes.gov and make sure you know exactly where to vote. You might show up, if you're in Greenville County, you might think you're going to go to McAllister Square. Not unless that's your district. Not unless that's your polling place during a normal election. You'll be voting in your district tomorrow. Okay? That's what's going to happen. When we get back, the Democrats are having a little bit of a tough time right now. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of breaking news and stimulating talk begins every hour, every afternoon on The Charlie James Show.
News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Charlie.
Let's talk.
It's the right talk. Charlie. Welcome. This is the Charlie James Show.
Now we're talking.
News Talk 98.9.
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All righty, then. Let's go to the Ingalls Market Talk line. We'll talk to Susan in Greenville. How you doing, Susan?
I'm good, Charlie. How are you?
I'm really good. What's going on?
Well, I have tried to do some of my research and know about the PACs for the two commercials recently on TV.
Right.
And I've had some friends mention that Ralph Norman voted against some bill that had something to do for giving disabled vets money, and I can't seem to find anything with this. Can you help me out there?
I haven't heard anything about that. I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, they said somebody told them. So
Oh, yeah. Well, we know how that goes, right?
Yes, we do.
But yeah, I mean, you know what? I would like to get more information about what is being said about that. I mean, maybe some other listeners out there can weigh in on it. Do you think that was part of the NDAA?
Well, I did find that in trying to research, but I did not see anything about the disabled vets in what part that I read. So I don't know. It could.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll take a look at it. I appreciate it. And Susan, thank you.
I listen to you and get your knowledge. So.
Well, thank you very much. We'll find out about it. Now, I did see where Ralph Norman voted no on H.R. 99237. That is the Take Care of America's Veterans Act. That happened on July 16th of this year, but we don't know why he did that. So I want to know. That's a good question. So let me see. Let's see. Maybe I can get an answer here real quick. Let's see. I'm trying here, folks, kind of real time that I'm doing this. H.R. 9237. Let's see what we got here. We don't know. I mean, that's somebody's going to have to answer. So, no. He did not vote. Hold on. He did not vote against H.R. 9223. His vote was no on a motion to recommit the bill, not on final passage. And his congressional record shows this. July 16th, Representative Mark DeSaulnier, actually Representative DeLuzio, moved to recommit H.R. 9237 to the House Veterans. So what they were trying to do is they were trying to kick this back to committee. The Democrats were trying to kick this back to committee, and Ralph Norman voted no. He was voting to allow the bill to proceed instead of delaying and reworking it. So the answer to that is no. This motion was important because 9237 contained a lot of provisions benefiting veterans, including increased. See, that's the way. That's the way they do things. They lie. Do you want to recommit Bill H.R. 9237? No. Oh, he voted against it. Man, the lies. That is completely misleading. 100%. In his voting record, it says H.R. 9237, motion to recommit. He voted no. That means it would have gone back to committee. On passage, he voted yes. Okay? So, there you go. He didn't vote no against. He didn't vote against that thing. He voted no against reworking it. See? And then, this is another interesting thing. His recorded no was against, like I said, recommitting the Veterans Bill to committee, not against the Veterans Bill itself. Interesting point that the House didn't actually record a final passage vote on H.R. 9237. Proceedings were postponed after the motion to recommit failed. For that, I don't know why. Don't know why. But, again, Another example of Darlene Graham and these PACs, these Democrat-controlled PACs, lying against Ralph Norman. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. Now, we know they're not because they're politicians, but they ought to be ashamed. Pretty amazing, that. Hey, Charlie, I heard that he voted against the veterans funding because of all the pork. Well, no, he just voted to recommit. Charlie, there's a commercial that says this will be voting against vets. Nope, didn't. Charlie, have you seen the ad for Darlene comparing her to... No, she did not. She did not. Did Darlene, is there a commercial out there where Darlene Graham compares herself to Ruth from the Bible? Good gracious. I'm gonna have to look that up. Oh my goodness. I'd love to see that. Let's see if I can even find that. That would be just, let's see. No, I'm looking for it. Don't see it, but maybe you guys can help me. Let's go to Lynn in Salem. Lynn, welcome.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah.
I went to Anderson Friday night.
Yeah.
Second time I met Ralph, and I was waiting, for the doors to open. Saw Channel 4 there. I thought, well, we're going to get some coverage out of this. We got a lot of good information. Everybody in the room was like me. Mine was already made up. Everybody was there for Norman. They didn't give. Did you watch what Channel 4 put out there?
No, because I know what it's going to be like.
No, they wasted gas to go over there.
Yeah.
They went nothing. They give out Tara. I love Tara. I like her. The senior.
Yeah.
She's fabulous. Yeah. But anyway, it was a good speech. I hope things.
Let me ask you something. How was the attendance looked pretty good from the pictures I saw.
Was.
Yeah.
It was. They had the room divided. It's a big auditorium.
Yeah.
But for that, it was packed, and it was real good.
Yep. All right. I appreciate it, Lynn. Thank you. Somebody over on X they said, the more they push, the more concerned I am about why. What is this fever for Darlene? I got the same question. Let's go to Henry in Hendersonville. Henry, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, man. What's up?
Yeah, I saw the weigh in on the Graham endorsement, but first, the lady that said her friend said that somebody told them, my advice on that is what a counselor told me many years ago when my wife and I were speaking to him, and I brought up something that some preacher on the radio said, make my point, and he said, did you read that yourself, or are you going to believe something some stranger told you it said?
Yeah, right. I get it.
So that's the response when your friend says, I heard this. Did you read that yourself? Or did somebody tell you that?
Yeah. So you're getting at least third hand.
Yeah, so I think I knew, and I sent you a text when they were talking about making Darlene the temporary senator, and I said, if she gets that bid to be the temporary one, then the fix is in.
Yeah.
So, I think President Trump does very well, and most of the time, except I believe his judgment is compromised in one area, and that is when his ego gets bruised and he can hold a grudge like nobody's business. And I think he first put Darlene in there as a temporary thing because of his, but I think the endorsement now goes back to Ralph Norman endorsing Nikki Haley.
It might be.
He's ever forgiven that.
Maybe so. Now, Ralph said they smoothed all that thing over, and they have talked since then, but we'll see. I appreciate it, Henry. Got to hit a break here. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Streaming stimulating talk and breaking news on your phone 24/7 on the Odyssey app. You're on the drive with the Charlie James Show.
News Talk 98.9 WORD,
the voice of the Carolinas. Chat with Charlie.
800-905-0989. Save it on your phone.
This is the Charlie James Show, only on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, let's go to the phones. We'll talk to Matt in Anderson. How you doing, Matt?
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, bud.
Hey, Charlie, everybody's been kind of questioning, why are all these groups supporting her? And I don't think it's a case of they want her. They just really don't want him. He's a pain in the neck, and he's only 1 out of 435. The last thing they want this bull in the china shop doing is being in the Senate. So I don't think it has much to do with, they don't know her either. Nobody knows her. You know, who knows what she's going to do?
If you notice that Invest in America PAC, they say they're donating to Darlene Graham to stop Ralph Norman.
Yes. I don't think it has. She's such a blank slate.
Yeah.
I don't think there. And as far as Donald Trump's endorsement is concerned, I'm going to take my own advice that I give to my liberal family members, which is quit thinking about what he says. It doesn't matter. He says a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Just pay attention to what he does.
Right. Exactly right. I appreciate it, D. Thank you very sorry, Matt. Thank you. Now let's go to D in Thomasy. How you doing, D?
Doing great. Charlie, how are you, my friend?
I'm really good. What's going on?
Listen, I just wanted to say I appreciate you clarifying a lot of this misinformation and, just out and out untruths that's being promulgated as far as the Graham. And I think going back to one of your previous callers mentioning the Norman's cutting benefits for disabled veterans.
Right.
Or denying benefits. Well, I think that probably goes back to a mailer, which I receive, mailbox full every day, practically, but a mailer paid for by the NRSC that spoke to accusing Norman of voting to make military vote by allowing critical race theory to be taught in military, and also voted pertaining to that previous caller, voted against pay raises for our soldiers and voted to cut benefits for disabled veterans.
Nope. No. Not with the disabled vets. Now, what he voted against on those NDAAs, that was during the Biden administration.
Exactly.
When they had all of that, like you said, all of that DEI, all of that, pride flags at the military institutions. You had, the soldiers running around, men wearing dresses. He wasn't for that. I'd have voted against that too.
Well, exactly. You're exactly right. And so would I. I just, like I say, I wanted to say I appreciate, you're clarifying some of this information because we're getting a lot of disinformation and really, actually, underhanded untruths.
Yeah.
And she just really not a nice person that a lot of people think,
Anybody that would allow somebody to do that in their name, I mean, no, I would never allow my name to be used like that by a PAC.
Exactly.
I would have come out and I would have said, nope, not it. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Let's go to Roger in Pickens. Roger, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I've been getting these phone calls all week. Today I got 2 of them from Darlene Graham's PAC,
Yeah.
And I get on there and I say, well, why should I vote for Darlene Graham? And the guy wouldn't answer me. He said, I'm just reading from a script.
Oh,
really? I said, tell me why I should vote for her.
Yeah.
If you out working for her, tell me why. And I couldn't get a straight answer.
No answer.
No, and I've been getting the flyers in the mail every day. They're pushing her so hard with big money.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. And for what? What is she going to do? She don't know nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
at least.
Here, well, let me tell you what she's going to do. She's going to do whatever the puppet masters tell her.
That's right. That's what she's doing up there.
I think Tim Scott sees somebody that he's going to be able to groom. Right?
Right. And
Yep.
you know, Ralph Norman, he established. I know he said he wanted to put term limits on everybody, but he does have a record.
Yeah, exactly. We know how he's going to. I mean, he was the guy that was out there defending Donald Trump during the indictment. I appreciate it, Roger. Thank you. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of nonstop breaking news and stimulating talk kicks off every hour
On the Charlie James Show.
News Talk 98.9
WORD.
the voice of the Carolinas.
Act on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line.
800-905-0989. Text or call. One number does it all.
800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
I ought to work on a campaign. I really should. I think I'd be a really good campaign advisor. No, not my own campaign, JJ, not my own, somebody else's. Because I would advise the Norman campaign of a couple of things. Number one, make a really big deal out of the fact that you were the guy that wrote the original Save America Act. That, and mention it in the debates. I know it's too late now, little Monday morning quarterback in here. Mention that in the debates. When Darlene Graham comes up and says, you voted against the one big beautiful bill, ask her, Ms. Graham, Ms. Nardone, what were some of the provisions in the one big beautiful bill? What? That's not my area of expertise. Ms. Nardone, what two items in the one big beautiful bill was I able to get removed from that bill and now actually make it better? Oh, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you. It was getting rid of subsidies for wind and solar farms. That's what I did. I made the bill better. Well, you voted against pay raises for our troops. Okay, Ms. Nardone, what administrations, NDAAs, did I vote against? Oh, I don't know. The Biden administration. And I voted against them because they were full of DEI, which you are a big fan of. I voted against them because they were full of trans ideology, mandatory DEI training, and it also would have put gay pride flags at all of our military installations. Is that a bill that you would have voted for, Ms. Graham? I would put that out there. I would absolutely put that out there. 100%. 100%. So then we get all these people, and a lot of members of the Freedom Caucus are supporting Ralph Norman over Darlene Graham. And here's something that I saw this weekend. It was actually, I think it was maybe Friday. William Timmons, Representative William Timmons, posted something that just almost made me want to puke. So there's this big list of all of these people that are endorsing Ralph Norman. A lot of members of the Freedom Caucus. William Timmons said, well, I see at least one felon on that list. When are they going to address the R.J. May problem? Well, let me explain this to you. The name R.J. May was not on that list. No, because I double-checked. I said, wait a minute, you got to be kidding me. R.J. First of all, my thought was, how is R.J. May endorsing anybody from prison? I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. So I read through every single name, and I said, dadgum, R.J. May's name is not on this. These people, like now Timmons, have one thing against the Freedom Caucus. One piece of ammo that they can use against the Freedom Caucus, and they use it constantly, and that's R.J. May. That's all they've got. They can't get them on their voting record because that's pretty impeccable. They can't get them on their Freedom Index scores because they're the highest in the land. They can't get them on anything except for R.J. May. Now, you look at the members of the Rhino Caucus. Look at their Freedom Index scores. Look at Stephen Goldfinch, 35 Freedom Index score. Shannon Erickson, what's she got? No, I think actually Goldfinch is even lower than that. He's like 30. I think Shannon Erickson is like 35. And then you've got, no, she's 29. Shannon Erickson is 29 on the Freedom Index, and she's supporting Darlene. Then you got Don Chapman. He's got a 35 Freedom Index score. Those are the people. Those are the problems. But again, the only reason that Timmons came out against the Freedom Caucus was because Adam Morgan had the audacity to run against him in the primary. The audacity to stand up against Timmons. Now Timmons makes these ridiculous accusations. No, it was just an out-and-out lie. He said R.J. May was on, or insinuated that R.J. May was on that list. He didn't name names, but he called out a felon. So, there you go. I was I was so disappointed. So disappointed. Let's go to Cassandra in Greenville. Cassandra, welcome.
Hi, Charlie. Just a couple things here, but, you know, I am so disappointed in Timmons as well. I like him so much, and I wish he hadn't done that. But what I was calling for is that, you know, what I've noticed and other folks I've been talking to is that Darlene, and I know in her first debate she was called Mrs. Graham, so I'll call her Mrs. Graham, that Mrs. Graham is using the same tactics as her brother did against Mark Lynch.
Mark Lynch, right.
Well, all these lies, these half-truths turned into these ugly lies. So, you know, if you really love the way Lindsay did things, I guess maybe you'd want to vote for her. I know we keep saying, why would you vote for her? Maybe you want Lindsay back. I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
And the other thing is, I wish, and we are all saying this, we wish that President Trump would have just said perhaps something along the lines of, well, you know, Darlene does have a worthy opponent, but she blah, blah, blah. We wanted him to say that.
Yeah.
If something like that would have been appreciated very much. I'm still Trump. I mean, my gosh, the man is wonderful.
But here's the thing, though. When Donald Trump,
Charlie.
when Donald Trump wants to know something about South Carolina, who does he go to? McMaster.
I don't know.
McMaster. It's either going to be McMaster or it's going to be Tim Scott. He's getting all of his info. Wait a minute, hold on, and maybe even Trey Gowdy.
Oh, well, maybe so.
He's getting all of that information from there.
Okay, because that's what we keep saying. When we're talking, we're saying, you know, who is advising him? Who is telling him this stuff? Because he's got bad people there talking in his ear.
Yeah.
And I didn't. Oh, yes, of course. Oh, that makes sense, Charlie.
Yeah.
And thank you for clarifying so many issues. I just love hearing the actual truth instead of all the half-truth.
As opposed to the spin.
So much.
I appreciate it, Cassandra. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
This is Lee Rogers. Be the first to break the news. Share your story at news@989WORD.com.
Charlie Speaks. You listen on your time. Get the show on demand. Text podcast to 800-905-0989. The Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All righty, welcome back to the program. Let's go to Bob in Greenville. How you doing, Bob?
Hello there.
Hey, man.
I've been given a lot of thought this runoff election.
Yeah.
And it occurs to me that the only explanation I can come up with is that maybe our president has Trump derangement syndrome.
You think that might be the thing?
That's my thought.
Trump hates Trump so much that he's endorsing Darlene?
There you go.
There you go. You might be right. There you go, Bob. I appreciate it. You know what gets me? I because I'm getting all of these. I don't know. What is it about some of these people that are for Darlene Graham? They're trying to convince. Do you not listen to the show? They're trying to convince me why I'm wrong. And I've given, I hate to tell you, but I've proven the point, okay? If this were a court of law, this would be a slam dunk. I've proven the case, all right? Okay? I've done it. No experience whatsoever. She's got, I mean, the lies, if anything else that, you know, national security is not my thing. That shouldn't have been the death knell for her, and it might well be. But there are people out there that are still, and the one that gets me the most is trying to compare Darlene Graham to Donald Trump. That, I'm like, excuse, are you seriously doing that? Charlie, Donald Trump didn't have any experience, and you voted for him, and you were all about Donald Trump. He didn't have any experience, so that's oh, yeah, they're identical. Those two are absolutely identical. So you've got a worldwide brand, a businessman that has employed hundreds of thousands of people. I mean, and he comes along and he starts laying out a narrative that everybody was like, yeah, oh, hey, gosh, this guy's great. I mean, I had my doubts about Trump when he first came out. But then I went to a rally and I was like, ooh, he's good. Yeah, I like what he's saying. He aligns with me. He's saying what I say. And then what do you got, Darlene? This is a woman that's been in the shadows her whole life. Her whole life, she's been in her brother's shadows. Everything that she has ever gotten was not because of her hard work and dedication. I know I'm making a little bit of a judgment here. But how did she get that job at the South Carolina Commission for the... How did an optician get that job? That had to do... I mean, it had to come from Lindsey Graham. So now she wants to be, or more importantly, the powers that be want her in there. There's no comparison there. You can tell when somebody's just got the right stuff. And I don't see the right stuff in her. Let's go to Janice in Gastonia. Janice, welcome.
Hey, Charlie. Just a quick question. By chance, do you have something posted on Facebook that can be easily shared to other members of Facebook? I've got plenty of friends in Beaufort and Charleston, South Carolina. I'd be glad to share it with them, but I haven't seen where I can find it. You had it posted on there.
Yeah, I mean, everything. If there's something that you see on my Facebook page that I've posted, that is, because not everything is shareable, but if you see something, shoot me an instant message over on Facebook, and I will. I'll make it shareable.
All right. So is it under your name or is it under 98.9 The Word?
Nope, it is under Charlie James. Look for me.
Okay,
there's a beautiful picture of me and my lovely bride.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'll look for that. I appreciate it very
All right.
much. I just want to see what I can do to pass the word around.
Well, I appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
Janice. Thank you very much. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Total consciousness for the afternoon swoon. You've tapped into the Charlie James Show.
The Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
let's talk.
It's the right talk.
Charlie?
Welcome. This is the Charlie James Show.
Now we're talking. News Talk 98.9.
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Well, after tomorrow night, and by the way, I will be here from 7 until 8 tomorrow night to give you as many election returns as I possibly can between that time. So we get to spend a little more time together tomorrow. That's always a good thing. But then it's on to Annie Andrews. And here's what I do not like about primaries, especially this primary in particular. It gives ammunition to the Democrats. Annie Andrews' team, and I don't know anybody that's on there or anything like that, but they're already campaigning on that comment that Darlene Graham made about not knowing anything about national security. That's out there. They're using it, sending it out in their mailers. They're sending it out in their online ads and things like that. They're also going to, if Ralph Norman wins, they're going to try to hit him. I don't know how they can, but okay. Go for it. Other than his age, she's already part. So that's a little ageism going on there by Dr. Annie Andrews. But here's what, again, if I were a political consultant, here's what I would do. First thing, do you align with the Democrat Socialist of America? Let me know. Now, if she says yes, that's a disaster immediately. If she says no, that could also be a disaster. Because you see, the Democrat Socialist of America, they got themselves a chapter down there in Charleston. Yes, they do. In fact, coming up tonight at 7 o'clock, they are going to be, the Democrat Socialist of America, Charleston chapter, is going to be having a Child Watch volunteer training Zoom call. You heard me right. Want to read to you from their website. Our chapter is excited to offer child care to on our general meetings. We need your help to continue to sustain and grow our program. If you'd like to help support our next generation of comrades, join this training to review best practices, role play through scenarios, and get you feeling confident to welcome and care for our budding comrades. That's the Democrat Party. So that would be the number one question I would ask Annie Andrews. Do you align with the DSA? Are you a socialist/communist? Number two, I would ask, do you agree with the bill that was signed in Massachusetts that allowed abortion up to the moment of birth? Do you agree with that, Dr. Annie Andrews? And if you do not, at what gestational age do you believe abortions can be performed? And then I would ask, of all of the different procedures in abortion, as a pediatrician, which abortion procedure is your favorite? Let her answer that one. Let her answer that one. Let us know. And don't take no for an answer. Those are the questions that I would like to know if I were a Democrat. How would you actually make South Carolina or this nation better with your vote? We know what her answer would be. Just anything Donald Trump puts out there, vote against. That's the easy part. That's the easy thing about being a Democrat. Very easy. So now we got to get whomever the nominee is. And I know, folks, listen, I know, I understand. It has been a long election season. It has been super long. And now we got all this stuff going on in November. I'm not going to expect Annie Andrews to do a whole heck of a lot in this state. If she does, I'll be surprised. Let's go to Ricky over in Myrtle Beach. How you doing, Ricky?
Doing great. How are you guys up there?
Really good. What's up, man?
A couple of things. One, I think they pronounce it remora. It's a small fish with a suction cup mouth that rides. He jumps on and rides with sharks all over the ocean.
And eats the leftovers.
That, to me, that sizes up Lindsey Graham's career.
Yeah.
Because he was just first it was John McCain.
Yeah.
You know, he has to grab somebody that everybody's looking at to get on TV.
Right, yeah.
And so that he rode that pony till it died. And then he was against Donald Trump from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to be Lindsey Graham. And then he saw that's not working. Everybody likes Donald.
Yeah.
So he becomes his best friend.
Yeah.
And that was his career, and we're just going to get more of it with his sister.
It does seem that way, yeah.
Like you said, she has no experience. And I saw an old clip. It was probably when she had to say it to get funding, and that was all part of that job, as you said. Lindsey got her, where she was speaking. I guess it was in Columbia, asking for more money for her increase in her DEI program.
Yeah.
In that organization that she was running. And he says, "Yes, ma'am. That's so wonderful. You need more money to do it better." She goes, "Oh, yes, sir. We're doing the best we can, and we've got a lot of improvement to go."
Yeah.
So I wish Ralph.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
She wanted to be the main state agency as far as DEI is concerned.
Yep. And I wish Ralph would have brought that up the other night and said, Darlene, I know, that was during probably Obama, whatever, DEI was really growing, and you were playing that game to get all the money you wanted. But how do you feel about DEI right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I appreciate it, Ricky. Thank you very much. I got to hit this, though, because, remember what she said in Myrtle Beach the other night and then what she said when she was the head of the South Carolina Commission for the Blind. Two different things.
I oppose DEI. I oppose the woke agenda.
We're working on all new policies and procedures, putting internal controls in place. We've got a diversity inclusion committee. I want to be a leader in state agency when it comes to that.
So, will the real Darlene Graham please stand up? We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
This is Mark Levin. Join me tonight at 7 following Charlie James for the Mark Levin Show, a News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Let your fingers do the talking.
Text the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line at 800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, we are back. Let's go to Chuck in Mills River and talk to him. Let's see if I can push that doggone button. Hey, Chuck, how you doing?
There's that button. I'm fine, man. Hey, before I get started on my tirade here, I got to know something. I've been watching the live stream. Man, who does your beard, man? You've got like the slickest whiskers in town, man.
Pretty good.
Other
isn't
than
it?
mine.
It's good, isn't it?
Man, you got
It's
like a
good
professional
beard.
stylist take care of that for you every day before you come on the show? Or?
I have my stylist every day before the show. She gives me
That looks good, man.
Yeah.
Almost as
Yeah,
good
it
as mine. Mine's a little bushier than yours.
Yeah.
Hey, I think you're absolutely on point with this. I think South Carolina is apparently having to throw all in on Darlene Graham, but you've got to do exactly what you said. Hit her up, hit her esteemed opponent up with the DSA questions. The socialists, man, they're starting to use comrade like it's something to be proud of now. I remember
all
back
of a sudden,
in the 70s
all
and
of
80s.
a sudden, that's mainstream. I'm telling you,
Yep,
Chuck,
comrade.
you are going to see it. You are going to see the hammer and sickle on cars. You're going to see the stickers on strollers. You're going to see,
Che Guevara
they're
stickers
coming.
and shirts.
They're
and,
coming.
And we see them all the time up here. It's we had to go into Asheville today. Unfortunately, Jenny's
Yeah.
birthdays. Well, not unfortunately, we had to go into Asheville.
Right.
Jenny's birthday's this weekend, so we're shopping. And dude, there's just all kinds of stupid stuff you see up here. But I always ask the people that I see with the Che Guevara shirts, is like, you realize he wanted to use Cuba's nuclear weapons to attack the United States, right? And you're wearing that shirt. Would that have been a good thing? Because you wouldn't have been around. And we have to point this stuff out, like your abortion issue as well.
Yeah.
I mean, when is it not okay? What's your favorite? That's a great one, Charlie. What's your favorite form of abortion?
Yeah.
That's awesome. You need to get that made into a T-shirt. And somebody should ask her as well. Somebody also should ask her, like the whole women's basketball thing going on right now. The whole big deal with the T-shirt with the XX does not equal XY. Ask her.
Yeah.
Do you not believe the science? Do you not believe the science? Is that science? You can't say that there's a distinguishable difference between male and female. And just make them, because, man, Darlene Graham, like you said, she opened herself up pretty wide with that. I don't know anything about foreign policy. If she's smart, she'll say, well, President Trump's going to guide me along with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's got to find a way. She has to find, that's her, what's the jump the shark moment. She's going to have to find a way around that.
I thought it was. You're exactly right, Chuck. I appreciate it. By the way, did y'all talking about the WNBA? Did you see when Ennis Cantner Freedom showed up at that game the other night? And all of these women from the WNBA, they acted like they wanted to fight him. It looked like something out of Gulliver's Travels. You had all these little tiny. This dude is big. He's a big, big man. And they were acting like they wanted. It looked like the Lilliputians trying to fight Gulliver, the giant. It was absolutely hilarious. Want to go to Ron in Fort Mill. How you doing, Ron?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Yes, sir. What's up?
Yes, sir. I would just like to mention one thing about Ralph Norman that I disagree on vehemently, and that was his position that he took on Silfab. And I like Ralph. I've known him a number of years personally, but I still to this day don't understand not using common sense as people are hopefully want to do when they're in politics. If you understand about Silfab, they built a heavy industry company, or they didn't build the building, but they put an operation in there that is zoned light industry. Now, it might be safe. You might be able to say, well, no matter where that company is, it should have a safe operation. But Ralph stood up there at the first town hall meeting, which I attended, and basically defended them using an idea that they were going to put a safe operation there. Doesn't matter if it's safe. It should be safe no matter where it is.
Right.
What matters is it doesn't belong in the zone that it's in.
But
And it's right
wait a
next to
minute.
school.
But that was a zoning issue, wasn't it? Because the zoning allowed it.
No, it was zoned originally light industry.
And that was light industry.
it was supposed to be light industry because
I
they were
understand this.
originally going to come in
But this
and put
now
together.
listen. What was this a mistake? Probably so in hindsight. But when you really look at it, that's a zoning issue. That should have been the county council that got in trouble over that, and the zoning commission.
And I'm not disagreeing. All I'm saying is I would have liked to seen Ralph be more supportive of his constituents, especially the people that live in Fort Mill, because a lot of the people left that meeting totally disgusted, and I felt bad for Ralph about that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if I were him, and this is just advice, I would make some attempt to, I don't want to say repent, but say at least something that indicates that now you're kind of on the side of the residents of the town. You know, we've been wronged, and regardless of whose fault it was, we've been wronged. We'd like to get it right. You know, we're going to be in court again on Wednesday this week.
Yeah.
But it would be nice that he would join the chorus of people who are speaking out against this. That's all.
I will agree
it would do him good to do that. I can tell you that.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. He's got to stand up. Now, when you're in public office for that long, you're going to make some mistakes, right? Everybody makes mistakes. But when you do, you come out and you say, listen, this is what I was told. This is what happened, and it shouldn't have happened, and, apologize for it. I'll give you that one. He needs a better explanation of what went on with Silfab. Okay.
Well, that's basically all I wanted to say, and I appreciate your program. Long-time listener, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Ron. I appreciate you. Thank you. Well, let's go to Robert in Mills River. What's going on, Robert?
Not much. I want to give a little shout to Chuck there, but what you brought up there, I live right off 280. You hear what goes on here.
Yeah.
But I'm not lying. Chuck's from Mills River is one of my dearest friends, and I want to just talk to you about Ralph Norman there, because I think he'd be a great senator. I mean, you brought it up about the military, and everybody they're using that against him. I never knew that. I thought, well, dang, he put down the military 5 times. Then you explained it to me today, Charlie, and people aren't just listening to your show and understand. And
I
some
agree.
Stuff. I mean,
I
just
agree.
listen to your show.
I agree.
All right. Love you, brother. You
I
have a
appreciate
good
it,
night.
Robert. Thank you very, very much. Just do what Robert says and listen to the show, y'all. All right, we'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
When Charlie's not teeing off on the left, he's teeing off on the links. You're in full swing on the Charlie James Show.
On News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas. or call. One number does it all.
800 905 0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
I'm good, Charlie. How are you? Listen, like many people, I've been racking my brain trying to figure out why President Trump will support Darlene Graham, and it's made me twist and turn and just trying to figure it out. But I was thinking a little while ago, and I listened to a clip that you played last week about what Lindsey Graham had to say about Donald Trump, some really nasty, bad stuff, and I think what's really happening is he's a really bright man. You can't get to his station in life with the money that he has and he's the most powerful man in the world. You can't get there being a stupid man. And I'm wondering if my take is that in reality, he wants the upcoming Senate vote to be for either be Ralph Norman. He would have taken Russell Fry, and that he knows that in the state of South Carolina, we have open primaries. I just did a little research a little while ago that said that we've got somewhere in the vicinity of 11% to 15% of Democrats participated in the primaries, and they selected Annie Andrews. That leaves 89 to 85% of Democrats that can vote in this upcoming vote tomorrow. So the crossover potential is gigantic. And I'm thinking that and I'm sure he saw the results of the debate the other night, and he saw the answer to the question about Taiwan and the foreign policy that she answered in a really, really lousy way. He saw that. He knows that. He still did the event down in Myrtle Beach. And he knows that there's 85% of Democrats sitting out there that have, many of them have full-fledged TDS. They have it in a big way. Anything he wants, they're going to go against. They want whatever he's liking, they're going to try to knock it down. And so my thinking is he knows that. And my assumption is tomorrow's vote, when it's tallied up at the end of the day, I think all the MAGA conservatives are going to have voted for Ralph Norman. I think the ones that are in the Republican Party that don't really pay attention, they might vote for Darlene Graham because they heard Trump liked her. But I think there's going to be a pile of crossover Democrats that are going to say, I'm going to come stick it to President Trump. And I'm going to do it by voting for the person that he doesn't want, and that is Ralph Norman. So anyway, that's my take on it. It might sound a little crazy, but I don't put it past his line of thinking as to how do I get the guy across the line that is going to be good for the country. And so hopefully I'm hoping and praying, my wife is doing the same, that tomorrow night when all is said and done, that Ralph Norman is the guy, and we'll just have to see how it pans out. But that's my take. That's my take on it.
15 minutes of breaking news and stimulating talk begins every hour on The Charlie James Show. Afternoons 3 to 7 on News Talk 98.9.
WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Charlie Speaks. You listen on your time. Get the show on demand. Text podcast to 800-905-0989. The Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, let's go to these phones. We'll talk to Danny in Greenwood. Danny, you got, 12 hours and 10 minutes before the polls open. What's up, man?
Hey, I voted early, but I was down at the rally in Myrtle Beach Friday night.
Yeah.
And the one that least impressed me was Darlene Graham.
Really?
Russell, she does not have the vigor, the zest for running for office. I heard all the speakers speak, but the one that actually stole the show, got the biggest applause and the most cheers, was Caroline Leavitt.
I would imagine, yeah. Now let me ask you something. Is this like the first Trump rally you've ever been to?
Yes, it was.
What did you think about it overall? Was it packed? Was there a lot of excitement? What was going on?
It was high energy for sure. The room was packed. It would only hold. There was a small venue at the North Myrtle Beach Conference Center. I think maybe there might have been 3,000 people there, maybe a few more, but it was packed.
Yeah.
And they actually set me up on the grandstands right behind him.
Oh, nice.
And I got my little MAGA sign. I was holding it up and everything, but Graham just didn't impress me at all. Russell Fry was probably one of the better speakers. Tim Scott was there, of course. He spoke a little while.
Yeah.
And the one person I wanted to get my picture made was Caroline, but they hustled her right out of there.
I'll bet. Yeah, that'd be a great photo. I appreciate it, Danny. Richard is in Dallas. What's going on, my man? You there, Richard? Richard. All right, going to put Richard on hold. Let's go to Mike in, where are you calling from, Mike? McConnell's? Where's that?
McConnell's is probably about 13 miles from Rock Hill.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
welcome.
It's in York County.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Thanks, sir. A while back, I had an unsolvable problem. Within 2 days of visiting Congressman Norman's office, problem was solved. It was a telecommunications giant. The office of the president called me and said, "How can we fix this thing?" They did. But I sent a thank you note in return, Ralph Norman. He sent me the nicest 2-page handwritten letter.
Really?
With Christian overtones and the sweetest thing. And my son, a few months ago, had his picture taken at his workplace with the congressman, and he gave my son one of those congressional coins to give to me, and that was so nice. My son, this is what really struck me a lot, is my son saw Ralph Norman at a local grocery store, and he went over to speak to him. They say don't meet your heroes, but Ralph Norman he was off work and he was doing his grocery shopping, and anyway, he said he couldn't have been nicer. They were chatting like old friends, but the man's got such great character about him. That's when they're off work, especially, you could tell on the job they're going to be a certain way, but he's got a good reputation in the area. One last thing, last week one of your callers called in and he said if he could ask Senator Nordum if they one question, say what have you done to earn my vote? And that kind of stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't think of one reason either. I can't think of one thing that Norman has done all this work. He's 100% conservative voting, everything, and that really stuck with me. But I appreciate you giving me this time.
Well, I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you very much. Yeah, we got 12 hours and about 3.5 minutes. If I've got really one major complaint about Ralph Norman, I have never received a challenge coin. I have never received. I remember one night, it was a few months ago, probably 6 months ago now. We were at an event at this winery, and Ralph Norman came up to me and he put his hand in his coat pocket, and I thought, oh, this is it. I'm getting the coin. Nothing. Did not. I was devastated. I want one of those coins. Let's go to Richard in Dallas. Richard, welcome.
Hey, Charlie,
Hey,
I
bud.
missed you there a second
Yep,
ago.
yep,
I was
yep.
having a little conversation with Jim Beam, but
How's he
you
doing?
noticed-
Is he
or-
doing good?
Man, he's doing great.
There you
We're
go.
both doing good.
All right,
Listen,
good.
is it me or are the days starting to get shorter?
Yeah.
Have you noticed it?
Well, yeah. I mean, that happens after the summer solstice. Yeah, the days are getting shorter. We will be in football season before you know it.
Best part of the year is coming right on up.
You're right. You are right.
All
All
right,
right, man.
man.
I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Okay, listen. I know tomorrow's a big day. Now, before you go vote, number one, check scvotes.gov to find out exactly where you're supposed to vote tomorrow if you haven't voted already. Check that. Make sure you know exactly where you're going. Before you leave home, before you leave work, before you leave wherever, check to make sure exactly where you're supposed to vote. You cannot vote in another district. You have to vote in your own district, all right? So just make sure that you know about that. Polls are going to be open tomorrow from 7 until 7. This show will be extended by an hour. I will be on the air with you until 8 o'clock tomorrow. And also another thing there might be something happening in Columbia tomorrow that you are going to find extremely interesting, all right? Now, we'll see. I'm waiting for some communication overnight to find out exactly how all this goes, but I will certainly keep you updated on that. Other than that, I will see you tomorrow. It'll be Election Day. Y'all have a great night. God bless. Buckle up. Bye, y'all.
When nasty weather strikes.